Let's go down the chorus. We'll have classic 90 music videos. This was after Hot Limit. I want to watch more, of course, of T.M.Revolution, guys. So today, guys, I'm gonna do T.M.Revolution here with white belt and also the classic music video, not just the first take. But I have never seen the first take before, guys. Let's start with that, and then we go into this classic music video. So I've been a big fan of T.M.Revolution, of course, my whole life since the 90s, with all the animes that have into it, right? And after this, we're also gonna check out, of course, Freedom in the next video, then, guys, coming later tonight. And in that one, it's obviously like Gundam opening, guys. We do the Gundam as well, then. But overall, as I said before we get to it here, that I'm really happy, guys, with everyone's, comments. Appreciate it, guys, a lot in Hot Limit video. It was really fun, right? I'm this OG, anime, video game, Japanese cultural fan, right? And I remember really growing up with these songs, right? So for me, Hot Limit was really amazing, and I am thinking of maybe next week we're gonna do a T.M.Revolution video where I go over like all the anime openings. So guys, so this is then of course the first take, white bet. So I heard a song before, of course, like with Hot Limit, yeah. Like yes. I know, of course, T.M.Revolution songs, right? I'm not some, anime first time guys here. No. But it's like I said, right? I really grew up with T.M.Revolution for the different anime openings, right? In the 90s, and especially of course that classic Rory Kenshi song, which I know is an opening, but you know what I mean, Heart of Sword, of course, and so on, right? And that's how I found this music then. But here we go. Go. Amazing as always, Jesus Christ, yeah. I have to take a pause, he's laughing. No, but I'm sorry, but I mean, when I see this outfit, he's popped my head there, okay? So, okay. Hot Limit, right, is so amazing. You know what I mean? He comes in there, he's in his 50s, he's super ripped, man. He's showing off the muscle, he got like great biceps, right? It looks fantastic, right? And I just find it kind of funny that in this video here instead, he's wearing like a double polo shirt, like it's like a winter now, yeah. Hot Limit recorded about the summer, it's recorded in Florida and all that good stuff, but yeah. But I just find it kind of funny that this is the opposite clothing, right, of the Hot Limit one. Like it's straight up opposite clothing, yeah. He's just like completely, he dressed for like a blizzard in his outfit instead. It looks like comedically warm, and yeah, he's like the absolute opposite. I don't know. I had to say it, okay? His voice is always amazing. You capture the snap and style. Yeah, but I mean, his voice is always so great, man. The way he sings, the way his body moves, just the way he kind of sings. I don't know. I wish. I mean, honestly, I wish I could do the same thing, guys. I wish I could be more like this when I'm talking to you guys. Yeah, I wish I could have this impulse thing. What is it? As a side note, something I have learned actually over the years is that I would talk to you guys, right? Or sing or whatever. I would talk to you people, in the mic, right? And then I would maybe go like this. You know what I mean? And I would grab something, right? Oh, let me show you my this stick or whatever, right? And I think there's something I've trained now then, a little bit of not singer but a speaker, right? Is that instead of being like this, you know, I would talk like that, right? I would now instead I do this thing, right? And I keep having my mouth towards the microphone while I'm grabbing something. You know what I mean? So my voice isn't distorted, right? It's a little more DJ this one, yeah. Well, I mean, Hot Limit, I think, is his best song anyway. I mean, it is like the best song he's done, I think. But there's something, I'm gonna be that guy, right? I mean, I love his performance. You know, Hot Limit was so amazing, but the way he was moving in Hot Limit, right? The way he was doing the whole body language, you know what I think it is? Leave a comment below what you guys think. But I think it's outfit, right? I think it's outfit, not because it's way too hot or something, but I mean, you know what I mean? I think that when he entered, right, in the First Take studio last week, or whatever it's called, in that classic, right, you know, the iconic, Hot Limit outfit, that weird, cool outfit, right? I felt he was more like, okay, I am on stage now, I'm performing. It was much more, you know, yeah, let's go. Yeah, he was more that. Now instead, it's a little bit, I think it's like Spider-Man, right? He needs to put on the suit, you know. It's a little bit like, I feel he's holding back a little bit his personality. Now, I'm so negative now. I'm trying to be I'm trying to be Nihongo nice here. I'm trying to be Keigo. I'm trying to be like proper I don't want to be, yeah. But I think it's interesting because it felt like he... Woo! Yeah! Cool! 日頃の熱い応援誠にありがとうございます。今後とも西方込精一杯頑張ってまいります。今後ともよろしくありがとうございました。Let's go to the classic music video now, guys. 90 wipes. And I just like it. I like the graphics. I was kidding, guys. I want to see the cool graphics, but yeah. Yeah, sing it all hot too. No, I know, yeah. I don't know what, this is way more hot. Come on. I'm sorry, I like the first time, but this is way more hot. Classic 90 music. This is where I go, man. This is long stretch. This is what I mean, guys, okay? I don't want to be that guy, right? Because I don't want to be that guy. I really, really love T.M.Revolution, right? It's one of my all-time favorite artists, but I grew up with, right? But I think that, I mean, honestly, did they perfectly prove my point? The first take is great. He's singing, he stands there, right? But to me, right, this is way better, right? The Hot Limit, you know, maybe I should do a video with Hot Limit, the class image video. But as I mentioned in my last video, right? You know, yeah, of course, the performance is amazing in the studio, but you do lack his movement. This is what I expect, right? I need him. I want this thing. I always like, you know, as I mentioned in the comments of the video, I like visual K. You know, I like Hawian, so yeah, you know, ex Japan, right? I want it to be a little more, you know. I want this from my that's it, you know. I'm meaning it. I want a little more of, you know, explosives and this thing, and yeah, I want a little more like that. Okay, I'm that guy. Okay, it's this. Oh, this is great. It's nostalgia trip, guys. I hope you guys like the video, and honestly, I hope you guys leave a comment and tell me similar stuff to do, because I'm thinking about it for this week. Be like, man, I would love to talk about some other similar artists, right? Like this, you know, like going into, for example, last year. I mean, I can't so much. I might beef up with last year, right? But you know, from FMA, of course, and GTO and so on, right? I would love to do more of these videos, right? I tried last year a little bit, ex Japan and so on, right? So whatever, but yeah, I'm just like nostalgic and tripping now. Let's keep going. I don't hate this thing. Oh god, but I wasn't even good about it. I love these visuals, guys, okay? I'm an old uncle, right? I love these visuals here. When we're getting this screams 90s. That's what it reminds me of. It must be a video game called Forsaken to Nintendo 64, which probably was released around the same year. It's like 98, 97 maybe, something like that. It also has a very, this like the whole corridor thing, the orangey, purple, magenta. Yeah, this like bronze magenta lightning. I don't know, but I love it. And there's something I was thinking about, what's called Ghost in the Shell, earlier this week. We have this Makoto scene that Ghost in the Shell, right? And something that reminded me so much of was Miami Vice, right? You see, Miami Vice is an old classic, right? You know, TV show, obviously then, we're same place as Hot Limit is recorded, right, in Miami. And it's just like, yeah, that aesthetic, right? This like 80 aesthetics, you know. It's kind of like a little bit, I guess, my shirt, the Ichiban shirt, a little bit that 80 Hawaiian Miami aesthetic. Yeah, this is similar, right? With this feeling, and I miss that. I'm not a big fan. And it sounds like an angry man screaming at clouds, like, oh my god, kids these days, they don't know what cool is, okay? God damn it, they didn't know what stuff. It used to be way better, guys. But it's a little bit that feeling where you're, because it isn't just, you know, the music style itself, right? It's also the visuals, right? It's the art style, and that's what I like Ghost in the Shell now, the remake, because they're remaking it, right, and it's based on this classic, you know, the manga, and it's very truthful to the old manga, right? It's over 20 years old, and you're watching it, and you're feeling that, oh, I'm like watching an anime that's produced in the 90s, right? You're feeling it's like a nostalgia trip, and but it isn't just about that, oh, I read the manga many years ago. It's more about that it is capturing these like Japanese culture or something like that. It's capturing the Japanese like old school like this here, a little more that, you know, some vibe. And this sounds super negative now, and it's the end of the video, guys. But I feel like, you know, to some extent, right, when we're looking at from where I'm coming down, I come from Sweden, right, so on, and we're looking at modern Japanese stuff, right, to me it is clearly affected, right, by most of course America, right, and you have this stuff where you're like, you know, like the music you get today from Japan, it is somewhat heavily inspired by that, and you can feel it, that it perhaps, from my perspective, then, is losing maybe a little bit of its identity, right? That's the best way I can describe it. I feel sometimes where I'm looking at Japanese stuff, and I feel that, like, you know, American lens over it a little bit, right? And sometimes even more so. But it's like, okay, so, and I'm not saying, of course, every Japanese musician or every Japanese game, whatever, right? But there certainly is some layers of that, that I think that when I'm now going back here, right, and I'm looking at something from like the 90s, Japanese 90s, it feels more Japanese to me. And I know it sounds like maybe it sounds like it's like overtly pandering, like, oh, you're saying that because you like Japan or whatever, or there's like this otaku style to it. But I think there is some genuine truth to this thing that, of course, because it objectively makes sense, right, from a logical standpoint. Of course, Japan, if you go back, let's say, 1,000 years ago, right? Okay, so if you go back 1,000 years ago, this is like what, the Heian period, if I'm wrong. I think so, right? I think it's Heian period, right? If you go back to that area, I mean, obviously now it's gonna be super Japan, right? If you go to like the Edo period, right? Edo period, that's, you know, Tokugawa period, right? That obviously is very, very Japanese, right? You know, in the Edo period, Japan was isolated, right? You didn't trade that much with other countries, so the culture you had in Japan was obviously very, very Japanese, right? With some, of course, influence from, like, you know, China and Korea and so on, right? And a little bit trade from Europe coming at the time, but it was very, very like Japanese, right? And then if you jump now, of course, then we're jumping 300, 670s, I guess, rather speaking here, and now we're getting into, like, you know, the 80s, 70s and so on, right? And obviously now Japan has a massive influence, right, from mostly America, to be fair, already after World War II and so on. But it's kind of like you still have, you know, the Japanese culture, the Japanese mindset, and all this stuff, right? And obviously, the more, you know, you are creating anime, music, video games, whatever, right? Music, all that good stuff in your country, your culture, that's obviously going to be affected, right? The more you speak culture trade, right? Over these years. So I think there is like an objective truth to that, because one thing, and this I'm going to limit now, maybe I get some hate now, a hot take here now, but I think the most obvious example of that is Final Fantasy 16, actually, to me, in a game example. I have, for example, here the game I worked on, right? So it's a remake, right? Front of me here, for example. So I'm a big FF fan. FF16, right? I have it next to me here in my video game collection now, Jeopardy. When it comes to 16, I do feel that it really is capturing this, how I say it, it feels like a video game that is very much trying to be a Western game, right? The way that the game is way less sci-fi than Fantasy, and it feels more like Game of Thrones something, and it feels that it's very, very much trying to appease Western audience, right, to buy this game, much more than Japanese audience. And I think that that also is very true for the combat system. So I'm gonna nerd down here too much now, guys. This is a music video, but I think it's just from in my standpoint, right? Coming from that age where again I grew up with Hot Limit, T.M.Revolution, right? Like Ronnie Cassidy's episode, that's how I got into his music, right? And then I also grew up playing, like, again, Final Fantasy games or whatever. And of course, my dream was to work on, fantasy and so on, right? So I got to work on the remake. That's awesome. But to me, a little bit, right? When I look at this stuff, I'm like, man, that game mechanic you had in 16, the way you kind of like remove some of the equipment system and so on, that to me, in my experience, is like a Square Enix. I worked there, right? At Square Enix, to my experience, that's kind of what you're doing. Because you're trying to sell it to the Americans, right? Mostly, and the Europeans, mostly Americans. It is in my experience. But yeah, it's really fun going back to this video, guys. I at least really enjoyed making this video. And just to be clear, right? I did love this video. Don't get me wrong, guys. I love T.M.Revolution. The singing was amazing. His voice was amazing. And I feel a little bit sorry now. That's like, oh, am I being mean now or something? I just felt that his again, obviously his Hot Limit performance, right? In the studio there was amazing. He was so much energy. He was just all over the place. He looks the suit. I mean, the Spider-Man suit right there. Him putting on the suit just made him look so powerful, right? And this was a great vocal performance, right? I just want to be very clear with that. But I feel that it was a little bit like it's just like it's good. But I think we can all feel why the Hot Limit one now is like trending, because that performance truly is like, as I call it, absolute peak. I wish I could talk sing at this. I wish I could be as energetic when I'm doing it, right? But I am kind of energetic though, which I am pretty known for though. But I still think it's true, right? That when we went and looked at the music video, then I felt, okay, this is the TM. This is like it feels more like that. Now, anyway, hop on the video, subscribe, press the like button, and let's tonight then. In maybe 5 hours from now, I'm also gonna react to the next, of course, T.M.Revolution, where I know it's the real name then instead on that one first take, and then we also got, of course, the Gundam opening then that that was used in, right? And then, like I said earlier, I think we're doing like one whole T.M.Revolution set of like all the anime openings. We'll do it next again more time, going over all the different songs, right, from the beginning of the 90s and forward. But anyway, so you guys can have a great day.